Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. And everyone, I'm sure to look at Masterminds today, which is a comic book which I came close to putting on my pull list, but I'm trying to not buy every comic book I want because I simply would run this place out of business if I did. But it's one that's worth paying attention to because of Zach Kaplan, first and foremost. I really like his stuff. He's a fantastic futurist writer. Good enough that I literally buy stuff he's done as Predator of the People. Beyond Real being the most recent one, I think. Like, this isn't me just blowing smoke. Genuinely respect this guy as a writer. And I will get on to how good he is at this, but I'm going to talk about the artist first. I need to check the name on, so I have forgotten. Stephen Thompson does an absolutely fantastic job. Like, everything about this comic book looks amazing. It looks exactly like it deserves to be in this time and space because of the way he does it. He uses fantastic little tricks within the medium, including when he does flashback. Instead of just, playing around with colour palettes, which is a common but very, very cool way of doing it, he just totally changes page layouts and gives things a slightly unearthly, ethereal look to it, differentiating from the actual reality of what's going on, because as we know, memories might not be as accurate, especially if we're only getting one person's point of view. There's also some really, really nice moments where we get a really good progression of time done over just a handful of panels over a page, and that is brilliant. The attention to detail is fantastic. Nothing ever feels too busy. Everything feels like it's there for a reason and looks brilliant when it's there. Not too much in the way of action in this first issue, but certainly enough to make me think that when it drops it could be fantastic. I really expect it to be. And he's got a very, very good eye for cityscapes and three-point perspective. Basically everything I really like about artistry in comic books, this guy can do. Throw in some fantastic colouring as well by Tiago Roca, which is superb. Like, absolutely beautiful, rich depth to colouring. No notes whatsoever, keep it right the hell. But it is a Zach Kaplan of all, which is what made me want to read this one. And I like the fact that he plays around with stuff which feels like it could be a cyberpunk kind of story, but basing it far more in the contemporary world. You still get that futurist kind of vibe to it, but he does the brilliant thing of taking the idea that anything in cyberpunk dystopia is basically looking at stuff which is happening right now at this time period, but usually to more marginalised groups, and making it apply to everyone. In this case, he does that pretty effectively. He's taking a look to begin with at the hyper-capitalist world of the video game industry and how terrible that is because the people above only want to see that as a way of making money. And we get discussion of NFTs on live services and crunch and all the various things which take this fantastic creative industry which has made some fantastic works of art and actually turning it into a content machine. Now, if that's all it was, I think I probably still would enjoy it. But then there's a beat when I almost found myself getting a bit tense and itchy because he started talking about this elite secret society or vaguely secret society which pulls a lot of strings and controls a lot of issues. And I was like, well, that's kind of a dog whistle. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the person that dog whistle is usually aimed at, but I'm aware of it. And I was like, no, wait, this is Zach Kaplan. He's not going to be doing that, I hope. And the more I read, the more I was like, no, I don't think that's what he's going for. He seems to be looking more at this idea of, yes, these people are there, and yes, they don't make their presence, advertised, but they don't really need to hide it. If you're talking about the hyper-capitalist world of video games, we're also talking about just the hyper-capitalist hellscape we're in right now, and there doesn't need to be a secret society of people. These are just the billionaires who you see on various social media sites. Like, there's 50 people out there who've got more money than 5 billion people, probably by quite a considerable amount, and they just do whatever needs to be done to keep the power that allows them to make that much money, which allows them to buy that much power. And I think, and this is me speculating now, it's certainly where my mind was going based on some of the beats I saw, but it could be a very good look at the idea of in-groups and out-groups in terms of capitalism, more conservative than fascism. Fascism, their in-group and out-group thing is very, very separate and divided, and they need these people to be both easily defeated and a very powerful threat so they can maintain their victim status, but also seeking glory. For conservatism, it's more a case of you're allowed in from an outside group as long as you are worthy, as in usually having quite a lot of money and some power of your own, and you're willing to do everything you can to stop other people coming in, using that power, and the fact that you have pulled yourself away your bootstraps to be like, oh, it's possible for everyone. Surely you can all do it. I'm not going to help you because I didn't need any help, etc., etc., etc. What we have here is one person who sees this world and feels like they might be able to get in if they play the game right. And that phrase is going to stay with me, I think, because that's exactly what got set up. We see this shadowy organisation of Masterminds basically setting a whole bunch of challenges for this guy, kind of proving that he is able to play the game the way they want him to play it. It's also going to separate him from any kind of support structure he has. It's going to bring him up on his own, and it's going to put him in a moral position where he will no longer be able to go back to what he was before. Like I say, I don't know how much of that's going to be true, but there's beats in there which suggest it, and those suggestions are fantastic, and really does make me want to carry on reading it. I might not put it on my poll. I might wait until it's finished, get the collection. I've done that before some of Zach's work, but I think it's going to be fantastic and well worth the wait. That's it for me now, though. Until I see you all again, look after each other, stay safe.